Hey guys, long time no see, but to be honest with you, after the college bowl season, I needed a break, so I took it. But I'm back. Wild card weekend is here. Let's talk about the history of the wild card round. A little thing that started way back in 1978. Based on the cyclical nature of gambling, you shouldn't be surprised when I can tell you that the underdogs and the favorites, well, they've gone in streaks when it comes to this round. The favorites last year, a perfect 4-0 sweep, and the games weren't even close, as the Chalks won every single game by a minimum of 13 points. But the prior 3 seasons, prior to last year, the underdogs went 8-3-1 against the spread. But then in 2011 and 2012, those 2 seasons, the favorites were 7-1 against the spread. But then in 2010, the dogs barked in all 4 games. That's just the way it goes. Again, it's the cyclical nature of gambling. That's why you can never get so hung up in the statistics and the trends, because what worked last year isn't necessarily going to apply this year. It's no different than playing the stock market. When you hear about, past performances is not indicative of future performances. Same thing happens in gambling. You know that as well as I do after all these years that we've been talking together, right? Now, some other interesting trends here. Since the wild card round began in 1978, more often than not, you have games that are blowouts. 130 games in the wild card round since 1978. 59 of those games, 45.4%, have been decided by 2 touchdowns or more. That trend is even more dominant going back since 2005, where you've had that percentage move up to 48%, as 22 of the last 46 games have been decided by 14 points or more. Now, in terms of how the point spread has broken down in terms of ATS results, well, you've had 1 to 3 point underdogs or 12 games over 500 overall, going back to 1978. But here you don't have any 1 to 3 point underdogs. So let's look at the other margins. 3.5 to 6.5 point favorites, like the Rams, like New Orleans. Well, they're only 2 games over 500 over this monstrous spread, this monstrous time period back to 1978. 7 point or more favorites like Kansas City, like Jacksonville, they're only 2 games over 500. And home favorites, no matter the point spread, are 1 game over 500 going back to 1978. So again, what does it all mean? Absolutely nothing. That's what it means, guys. Seriously, absolutely nothing, which means forget about all the trends, forget about all the stats. The only one that's really significant of all the numbers I just gave you is this. Almost half the games are decided by blowout fashion, by 2 touchdowns or more. Now, in terms of the total, well, the under has certainly been the play over the past 5 years, as 14 of the last 20 games have stayed under the posted price. So, with that all being said, let's talk about a couple of the hot handicappers, and I'm going to get to my free pick today in terms of the NFL playoffs, which is going to be the late game between the Rams and the Falcons. Now, the hottest NFL handicapper here at the site, well, there are 2 of them. One is going to be Tommy Brunson, who since joining the site in September, 150 dime releases. He has his 10th ever going today. He is 8-1 with these plays. And remember, he had a 200 dime play, one of them this season. He won that one as well. He's on Tennessee and Kansas City. You've got all of them for over half price off. Same thing goes today with the coupon code being, let's make sure I got the right coupon code. Should we also make sure that I did post the right coupon code on the site? Oh, you got a lot of the live video reports, guys, because I didn't check this before I started doing the video report. Let me make sure I posted the right one here at the site for you. Oh, yes. You think this is fun? I don't think this is funny. Ooh, let me check this here. Yes, that coupon code is 150DIMER, 150 DIMER. Just a little heads up for you. Joey Juice, who is on a nice little roll here, winning 7 of the last 8 days, has his 3rd straight 150 dime play. He is on the opposite side of the Kansas City, Tennessee game. Just a little FYI for you. The other hot handicapper, the winningest football handicapper here at the site over the past 6 years, that would be Shawn Michaels, going for winning day number 8 out of 9, his 8th 100 dime NFL max wager release of the entire season. He's on the late game. Atlanta, LA matches last Sunday's 100-9 winner when he had San Francisco on a walk over the Rams. Of course, the Rams were playing their B team. I had them as well, the 49ers, last Sunday. 74-47-4 roll with 100-dime NFL releases going back over the years, including a 5-1 mark in the playoffs last year. You get it for half price by using his first name, the name Sean, S-E-A-N. All the other discounts and coupon codes are over on the homepage. Now, let's talk about this game here, the Rams. For those of you that happen to be my customers, I just want to quickly say something here about this particular play and why I'm giving it out to you for free. Listen, I am not about making money selling picks. FYI, I do not make money by the amount of picks or any pick that I sell here at the site. That's not how I make money. I'm one of the owners of the site. That's a totally different thing. I do not make money by selling 22 picks today. I never have. And the whole time since I created these sites, I'm a capitalist, but that's not how I'm about making money. I'm about making money based on what I'm playing. Therefore, the games that you get, they're my personal best bets. Therefore, when I look at this Rams game, I like the Rams for a multitude of reasons, which I'm going to tell you about. However, I think the best bet on today's card is actually in college basketball. We're on a red-hot roll in college hoops, which you can see here at the site. Therefore, I'm releasing a best bet in college basketball today, plus a two-team teaser in the NFL, which is a combination of the first game between Kansas City and Tennessee and tomorrow's game between Jacksonville and Buffalo. And like Shawn Michaels, I am a big believer in teasers. I love teasers. Not exotic teasers, not 18-team teasers. I'm embellishing, of course. But that's a combination that I have going today. But the college basketball play is a 15-dime play. That's where my money is going. That's how I'm going to make money today. If I wanted to make money and I was making money by profiting off the sales of picks, I would absolutely release a play today if I had no morals on the Rams game, because who the hell wants to buy a college basketball pick today on Wildcard weekend? But that's what I'm about. That's why I'm giving you this pick. Now, if I had to rate this play today, just again, to give you some perspective, my 15-dime best bets, my highest rated plays, I have it in college basketball, I have it on the two-team teaser. I would make this a 10-dime play. So now that we got this straight, let me tell you why I like the Rams minus the 5.5 points here. I went against the Rams last week because, again, they were fielding a B team against the 49ers. But Sean McVay made it quite clear that he wasn't worried about sitting down Jared Goff. He wasn't worried about sitting down Todd Gurley. He wasn't worried about his offense being, shall we say, benched and coming out and perhaps being a little rusty after having a week off, because he went back to week number 9 when they were coming off the bye, November 5th, at the New York Giants, and they just rolled big time, 51-17 at New York. And he felt that his offense was so in sync coming off that 1 week bye, he wasn't at all worried with this time coming off a week, rest, celebration, and at home opening up in the playoffs against the Falcons. Now, as far as the Falcons go, this is not the Atlanta Falcons that you saw last year. This Falcons team hasn't been in sync, especially offensively, all season long. And to my way of thinking, anybody out there that suddenly thinks, oh, hey, the postseason is here, and Matty Ice, oh, God, I hate that nickname, Matty Ice is suddenly going to turn it on. Well, he didn't turn it on for the past 18 weeks. Suddenly he's going to revert to his 2016 form. I just don't think so. No. Matt Ryan last year, 38 touchdown passes, 19 touchdown passes this season. Julio Jones is not the Julio Jones he was a year ago. I mean, hell, Matt Ryan had 5 less touchdown passes than Jared Goff did this season. And Todd Gurley is the single most dominant offensive player in NFL this season, as far as I'm concerned, now that Carson Wentz is out. Gurley has just been phenomenal. Everybody will point to the Rams' run defense as being susceptible, and it certainly is. It gives up 4.7 yards per carry. And the Falcons, when they make a commitment to running the ball, which, did they make that commitment last year in the Super Bowl? No. What happened in the second half? They didn't. When they make that commitment, they can certainly run the ball. But let's not forget the Falcons give up 4.1 yards per carry, so they are going to be just as suspect and just as vulnerable on the road today against a high-flying Rams team. The Falcons were 5-3 straight up, 2-6 against the spread on the road this season. They were 5-5 straight up and against the spread with teams with winning records. What did they do down the stretch? Okay, they beat the Carolina Panthers, a one-dimensional team that, other than Cam Newton, can't do anything, can't throw the ball, have no passing game. They beat them 22-10 last week. They lost the prior week 23-13 at New Orleans. They barely got by Tampa Bay on the road the week before that in that Monday night game, 24-21. They had to rally from 10 points down in the fourth quarter to nip New Orleans in that Thursday night game, 20-17. This is not a team that's a juggernaut playing peak efficiency right now. I'm going to take the Rams. I'm going to lay the 5.5 points. I'm not going to look back. And I'm not going to buy into the fact that the Falcons, because of their experience, because they got to the Super Bowl, yada, 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 that they're suddenly going to be flipping that switch and reverting to the Atlanta Falcons that we saw a year ago. I don't buy it at all. Now, in college basketball today, a couple of plays. I'm going to go with Butler minus the 3 points at home. 2.5 to 3 points at home at the Hinkle Fieldhouse against Seton Hall. Now, Seton Hall has won 4 in a row since losing to Rutgers. That was their second loss of the season. But who exactly did they play? They were all at home. They beat Wagner. They beat Manhattan. They did beat Creighton, but Creighton doesn't play well outside of Omaha. And they beat St. John's, with St. John's missing one of their 2 top scorers. Meanwhile, the Bulldogs are coming off an 86-76 loss, 86-79 loss at Xavier. Interesting game. First of all, the Musketeers lose at the Center, where they play at home in Cincinnati. Xavier had 37 free throws in that game. Butler had 8. 37, 8. Now, Butler does not get to the line that often because Butler's guards are not that aggressive. They don't drive the lane a lot. They don't funnel the ball down low to their big guys. 37 free throws, 8. You think Xavier got the benefit of some hometown officiating? What do you think, guys? I think Butler may get a few calls going their way, playing at the Hinkle Fieldhouse today. Now, Butler, of course, in their previous game, handed Villanova its first loss of the season. Third straight time they've beaten the Wildcats over the past 3 years. Butler's on an 8-1 ATS series roll. That one loss last year, senior day, final game of the year. And what did Seton Hall do? They rallied from a late deficit to win that game going away. Butler's covered 5 of its last 6 at home. Seton Hall, I'm going to go against them in this particular contest in terms of strength of schedule at KenPom.com. Butler, number 30. Seton Hall, number 79. This is Seton Hall, only their 3rd true road game on the season. Butler, 9-0 at Hinkle Fieldhouse this season, averaging 88.1 points a game, shooting 54.5%, and that's worth it to me to lay the points with the Bulldogs in this contest. Syracuse, 6-point favorite at home today at the Carrier Dome against Notre Dame. Now, you know that Notre Dame lost its best player, an All-American candidate, the ACC preseason player of the year, Bonzie Colson, their power forward, 21.4 points, 10.4 rebounds, broke his foot last week. Now, they responded at home at Purcell Pavilion against NC State on Wednesday with an emotional performance. They destroyed the Wolfpack by 30 points, 88-58. But now they're going to go on the road. And not only they're going to be without Colson, but they also lost their starting point guard, another senior, Matt Farrell, who was averaging nearly 16 points and 5 assists a game. He suffered a sprained ankle in that NC State game. So now you take 2 guys. You've lost 38 points a game. You lost your top assist man. You lost your toughest defender in the backcourt. You lost your leading rebounder and your leading scorer as well. You're going to go up against that 2-3 zone defense that Jim Boeheim's going to throw at you. You got a Syracuse team that's only lost 1 game at home. Now, what's the problem here? Why am I not all over Syracuse? Because Syracuse can't hit the broad side of the barn from 3-point range. This is one of the worst 3-point shooting teams in the nation. 351 Division I teams, and Syracuse is ranked 314th in the nation, shooting the 3 ball, only hitting at about 31%. That's a lot of points that you give up when you can't hit a 3-pointer. Now, Notre Dame is an excellent offensive team, an excellent 3-point shooting team. But again, I just told you, you just lost almost 40 points of the 80-some points a game you average. Now, Mike Brey has a very deep, talented Irish offense, and he has some good players. But he's going to start either a walk-on or an inexperienced sophomore at the point guard position today. That zone is going to bother them. That playing in the Carrier Dome, that cavernous arena, which always gives opponents problems with their depth perception in terms of shooting, that also plays in Syracuse's favor. So in this particular spot, I think I got to lay the points with Syracuse. Strength of schedule. It's also very interesting to note at KenPom.com, the strength of schedule, Syracuse 101, Notre Dame 223. That's what happens when you're the Irish and you beat up Mount St. Mary's, Chicago State, Chaminade, St. Francis of New York, Delaware, Southeastern Louisiana, and DePaul. Yeah, they played Wichita State and LSU and Michigan State and Indiana, but, Syracuse played some damn good teams as well. Maryland, Kansas, UConn, Georgetown, Buffalo, St. Bonnie. Again, 10-1 on the road. Notre Dame's only played 3 true road games. This is their 4th. I say they go down, missing 2 starters, 2/5 of their starting lineup, 38 points a game. I'm laying the points with the Hughes in this one. If I had to rank the plays, obviously the Rams, the best bet in the football. And in college basketball, the 2 plays, I'd say Butler is number 1, Syracuse is number 2. That'll do it, guys. I wish you well and talk to you again tomorrow when we do this.